Hi everyone, it's Emma. This is going to be the first video of multiple on the U.S. government and political system. So first we're going to talk about the U.S. Constitution, which is the most important document in the country since it outlines how the entire government works. It was written in 1787 and ratified in 1789 with the goal of creating a new system of government based in checks and balances. In 1787, delegates from 12 of the 13 original states came together to fix the weak and ineffective Articles of Confederation, which was the government they were using since the Revolutionary War. And under this, each state was essentially its own nation. Instead of revising the Articles of Confederation, they ended up writing an entirely new constitution which centralized the country and gave more power to the federal government. Some of the prominent leaders present included James Madison, Alexander Hamilton, Ben Franklin, and George Washington. After 3 months of deliberation and compromise, James Madison drafted the final Constitution and it was ratified by 9 states in 1789, making it the law of the land. The Constitution has 3 main parts: the preamble, the articles, and then the Bill of Rights. This is the preamble. It basically says the purpose of the Constitution and who wrote it. It says, "We the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America." After the preamble comes the articles. There's 7 of them, which are outlined here, and they basically say how the government will be run and how the Constitution can be changed. Since the Americans had just been ruled by a tyrannical English monarchy, they did not want the government ever to get too powerful, which is why they split up the powers of the government into 3 branches: the executive, judicial, and legislative branches. This is called checks and balances because each branch makes sure that the others do not get too much power. I'll talk more about these specifically in future videos. Basically, the executive branch enforces and carries out the laws, and it includes the president, vice president, and the cabinet. The legislative branch makes the laws, and it includes Congress and the Senate. The judicial branch evaluates the laws and includes the Supreme Court and other federal courts. This diagram gives a basic overview of how checks and balances work between the 3 branches. The executive branch can check the legislative branch with the veto power of laws, and the legislative branch can also overturn the vetoes from the president. The legislative branch checks the executive branch by having the ability to impeach the president and also by confirming nominations to the Supreme Court. The judicial branch is able to check the other branches by evaluating the constitutionality of the laws created. Finally, there is the Bill of Rights, which is the first 10 amendments or changes to the original Constitution. It was added after the fact because after the document was drafted, some states had requests they wanted added or they would not ratify the Constitution. The focus of the Bill of Rights is to secure the individual rights and liberties of individual people and to make sure that these are protected. This is why some of them will definitely look familiar, like the right to bear arms, which is the second, or the right to a fair trial, the freedom of speech, freedom of religion, and etc. Since its ratification, there have been a total of 27 amendments to the original Constitution. It is the most important document in the country because the foundation of the U.S.'s entire system of government is based in it. Every law passed in this country should follow the outline of the Constitution, and if it doesn't, it should be repealed. The Constitution is thought of as a living document because it can be changed and should be interpreted differently as society changes and evolves.